It's the crazy thing about anxiety is that we talk about it, the anxiety we're gonna have in the future, or the anxiety we had in the past, or maybe ones that other people are feeling. We talk about it as if it's this external thing that is, I like to say it's like a top hat that you're wearing on your head, right? And it's this thing where if only you could realize it was there, then you could take this top hat off, and then you'd see it, you recognize it, and you'd be, okay, I don't need this anxiety, right? You take it off. And so it seems like the excuses are obvious, right? So from me looking at you and say you're making an excuse about something, I can easily say that excuse is a result of the anxiety that you're feeling. But I think that the problem with anxiety is that it really is reality when the moment you're feeling it. And the excuses are not cheap throwaway excuses. It feels like life and death. And it feels like not just the emotional response, but it even feels like the logical right response given the circumstances that you would do that. Let's just take that situation that you painted as an example with the show in the garage or wherever it was going to be, and there was some audio equipment you were setting up, and let's say you had some audio issues, and so that is a plausible excuse. But in that moment, I think that the emotions of anxiety really elevate it to such a point where logically, and I think that you're an intellectually, I think you're a smart guy. So, and I actually think this is more problematic. I feel like the smarter you are, the more problematic these anxiety excuses get, because you are better able to create these really plausible excuses. And in that moment when you're feeling this, it really feels like any sane person in that situation would come to the same conclusion, that you just can't do it because the mixing board just won't work, or the speakers, they are just not outputting it properly. And so you just shouldn't do it. And it's only way later where you have that 2020 vision where you can say, oh, that was anxiety doing that and it wasn't me. So I think that's the crazy thing about anxiety, is that you can't just, even if you prepare beforehand, in the moment, you're still living in an alternate reality. You're still in a bizarro world where logic runs differently. And it's really, really hard to say, well, when I was sober, right? We'll just say anxiety is like a drug, right? So you can say, when I was sober and I'm looking at this, that sober me had the thought to go to this party, and now this party is here, and right before the party, every little thing feels life and death. A bad hair day is literally a good enough reason for any sane person to be like, why would I go to this party? I'm having a bad hair day, right? So it's like the smallest thing, the smallest excuse you can find not to go. And that's what I was thinking before. But from a distance, you can look at that person, and anxiety just looks like a funny top hat that you're like, why don't you just take that hat off and go to the party?